Whispers float in empty halls. Footsteps echo down the walls. Shadows break where secrets lie. Every echo holds a hidden sign. Blow the trace along the crime, a hush that haunts the night, a fear that lives in light. Unravel lines of twisted lies. In the dark, the story waits unseen.
And here we go.
Hi, I'm Rochelle, the Psychic Sleuth. Spirit shows me patterns across past, present, and future. What comes through can be symbolic, metaphoric, or not always literal, though sometimes it is. Messages often carry multiple meanings that weave together through energetic tracking, prophetic sequencing, and blueprint mapping. I know I talk fast sometimes, it's just how spirit flows through me. You can always replay or slow down if you need to. I triple check what I receive with astrology and cards, but this isn't about being 100% right. It's about truth, responsibility, and integrity. I'm the one sitting with spirit on these cases, so this is a space for truth seeking, not debate. Please respect the work. If you can't honor spirit, this may not be the place for you. And before we start, I want to make something clear. My process has evolved for a reason. I don't use sitters anymore. I don't do live channeling on heavy cases, and I won't be performing on command. That's not safe, it's not accurate, and it pulls the work off track. I work the way spirit directs me, through mediumship, pattern recognition, astrology validation, cards when needed, and prophetic sequencing. Every layer strengthens the message and protects the integrity of the case. Please don't tell me how to do my job. This isn't about entertainment. It's about truth, responsibility, and helping families. If my style isn't for you, that's okay. But this is how I work, and this is how the work stays accurate. If my work resonates, the best way to help is through community support for Justice's Cadaver Dog Training Fund. It doesn't take huge donations. Even the cost of a coffee adds up when many give. Shop new merch and help Justice on his mission. Links to my shop and donation page are pinned below. Every purchase helps fund the work. Thank you for being here. Now let's get on to today's case. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about a location for Nancy, why I feel that way, my whole this whole process and what it's taught me, and the different steps and breadcrumbs that I've been following. Because I think what a lot of people don't understand is when it comes to location, that there are breadcrumbs you have to follow, there's energy you have to follow, and it's not as easy as just going to a spot. You have to put the puzzle pieces together and the feelings together, and sometimes you're led to a perpetrator's house, sometimes you're led to a co-conspirator's house, sometimes you're led to a place somebody's been, sometimes you're led to different things for different reasons. It's not always just, I'm going to go where I need to go. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and there is divine timing. So somebody will be found how and if they're meant to be found. If a psychic's meant to find them, they will be found. If a random person's meant to find her, they will be found. If police are meant to find them, they will be found. That's just how it works. In the timing they're supposed to be found. So what I wanted to do in this video was just kind of go quickly over the astrology that talks about the area that I'm looking for as I dug a little bit deeper, what happened, and it's not going to be really in-depth or really long. It's going to be really quick, and why this case is taken off the way that it has astrologically, so I can show you how it validates kind of the chart. Then I'm going to walk through each of the places I went, and I know I've kind of talked about this in the live, but in case you haven't seen the lives or haven't watched the lives, I want to put everything in one video so that you guys can understand what the journey has been like, why I'm talking about this specific location, and all of that. So keep in mind that this is entertainment purposes only. Your discretion is advised in case anything's talked about, but really it's just going to be going over the maps, talking about the feelings, and kind of discussing how the process has worked for me. I'm learning as I go. I've had people ask me, have you found anybody before? Not physically. I've never been in the field before, so this is very new for me. It's learning. I'm learning how to feel things. I'm learning how to understand those feelings, and you have to sort of filter out everything else, and that's really hard to do. So it's not easy. I am not one that feels locations very easily or feels spirit in the way very easily. I tend to feel human people and perpetrators a little bit more than I do spirit, and that gets a little hard sometimes, but that's something that I've learned in the last few weeks that I've been going out and trying to see what I can do, because the end result is hopefully, to bring answers, to bring peace, and do my job. That's what I'm here for, just to do my job. So I've been lucky enough to have the experience. I like to say it's training in the field. I've had now 2 cases that I've been able to go, and it's been a process, and it's been a lot of work. So, all right. So the first thing I want to go over, and I'm sure I had everything all lined up, what I was going to say before. Everything comes better to you when you're laying down and you're just thinking about it. Yeah. All right. So basically, the disposal is tied to hidden, secluded, possibly watery or low ground Cancer, but Jupiter retrograde says the truth is buried, needs revisiting. Sagittarius, I see open expanse of land, a wash, a field, a place with long views, near a road or church school. Moon rules the physical remains. Gemini, dual location, movement, short distance, near roads, possibly in a vehicle or between places. 10th house, near a public place, workplace, a visible landmark, but hidden within it. Mars, this is the perpetrator's action. Includes violence, movement, Sagittarius, vehicle, travel, recklessness, impulsive, possibly tied to creative act, a risk or something symbolic, poetry, teaching. Gemini, the action, disposal in the victim's body are connected via short distance travel, possibly the same route. Structure, ceiling weight, water dissolution, hidden in plain sight, death, secrets, other resources, body likely wrapped, which came in the visions that I had with the bed sheets in place in or near water, drainage, Pisces, possibly in a shallow grave or covered with debris. So the cards had said in water, so that's what I'm kind of pointing to. It's hard in Arizona to find water, and that's why exactly I'm talking about this area. Neptune, confusion, dissolution, Aries, impulse, aggression, new ground. Disposal was hasty, poorly planned, possibly in a place that seems isolated but is actually accessible. Uranus is sudden, shocking. Taurus is earth, stable ground value. The site may be on a land owned, leased, or used by someone connected to education, law, or religion. The 9th could be near a school, church, or legal boundary, which what we're looking for, and I'll explain in a minute, that doesn't exist by his work, so I don't know if it's connected to somebody else that they know. I'm not sure about. Let's see. Primary zone, a wash or open land within short drive from last known location. Water drainage feature nearby, possibly near a school, church, or workplace. Body is likely wrapped, shallow, covered with earth debris, not in a container, and the perpetrator used a vehicle and returned to the area. That's the circle back that came in the reading as well. So, let's see. I can delete all that. So for a perpetrator, we have Mercury, Pluto, and Aquarius in the 7th house. Sun, central figure, authority, male. Communication, teacher, messenger is Mercury, and Pluto, hidden power, control, obsession, transformation through secrecy. This is not a stranger. This is someone known to the victim, possibly a family member, in-law, or close family associate. Aquarius 7th, suggested detached, intellectual, possibly unconventional relationship, not a random intruder. Saturn, Pisces, boundaries dissolved, guilt hidden, possibly struggles with addiction, family, or delusion. House, death, shared resources, inheritance, and sexual secrets. Tied to money, inheritance, or what he felt entitled to. Deception, confusion, and possibly substance influence is Neptune in the 8th, Aries 8th. Venus and Capricorn in the 6th. Venus equals woman, values, affection. Capricorn equals elder, authority, structure, and 6th house is daily routine, service, and health. A female involved in her care, daughter, caregiver, a woman tied to victim's routine who may know more than she's saying, and Venus opposes Mars, Sagittarius 5th, tension between a woman and the perpetrator's impulsive actions. No 12th house rising, no strong Pisces, Neptune signature on ascendant. This crime was not random or spiritual, it was calculated, domestic, and interpersonal. Emotional suppression. The perpetrator may have a partner or female accomplice who is emotionally conflicted or being deceived. So to summarize this is not a stranger, known to the victim, likely son-in-law or close male family associate. Motive was financial inheritance. The method is deception, staging, possibly substance involved, and female figure in daily life may hold knowledge or be complicit under duress or deception. Perpetrator is intellectual, detached, and possibly a teacher or communicator. Mercury and Aquarius in the 7th. The chart describes someone who's had access, motive, and used all three to stage a false narrative. So, and then the co-conspirator. So we have Jupiter in Cancer, someone connected to home, family, or nurturing, possibly a female or someone close to the domestic sphere. Retrograde, this person is reluctant, hidden, or now second-guessing their involvement. 12th house placement, the accomplice is hidden, possibly in the background, not publicly visible. Could be a friend, relative, or associate working behind the scenes. Dual action, two people moving, is Moon in Gemini. Moon rules the public, the emotional current, and the victim's body. Gemini 2, duality, partners, and movement. Moon applying to Trine Sagittarius 5th, coordinated action between two people, one driving and one assisting. Hence what the reading said. And I didn't see this until then because I didn't look about there being a accomplice until recently. But this is validating what came in the reading. Venus equals woman values opposite Mars, action, violence, tension between the female figure and the perpetrator's impulsive act. Woman could have helped before or after, or was coerced or manipulated into assisting. Uranus and Taurus, sudden unconventional alliances. Uranus, unexpected, shocking. Taurus, material value, stability. Ninth, higher learning, travel, law. Suggest an accomplice connected to work, school, or legal matters. Possibly someone who recruited in a moment of panic, or someone with access to resources, vehicle, property, crypto knowledge. Stage the video. Neptune, Aries, and 8th. The fakery, the mask. Neptune is deception, illusion, confusion. Aries is bold, aggressive, theatrical. 8th, death, secrets, shared resources. The video is Neptune and Aries in the 8th. A theatrical performance designed to mislead about the nature of the crime and create a false narrative involving theft and ransom. Pluto and Aquarius in the 7th, power dynamics, hidden control. Pluto, coercion, obsession, transformation through secrecy. Aquarius, groups, technology, cryptocurrency. 7th, open enemies, partners. The cryptocurrency demand is Pluto and Aquarius in the 7th, a power play using modern tools to control the narrative and distract from a personal motive. Burglary, crypto cover. 2nd house, money values, ruler Venus in Capricorn the 6th. Venus in Capricorn, materialistic, structured, calculating. Daily work, service. The financial motive is real, inheritance, debt, but crypto demand is a prop, a Pluto-level disguise to make it look like a professional external crime rather than a domestic one. Sorry. 8th house is share resources, inheritance, death, secrets, Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Aries. Saturn is restriction, guilt, and sealing. Neptune is confusion, disillusion. Aries is impulsive, aggressive, and the inheritance issue is the core. The crypto burglary narrative is the shell. So, I was looking at west because I always get pulled west. But what we're also looking for is because there is a stellium in Aquarius, so we are looking for an industrial area. Industrial area with water and a wash, which there aren't really any super close to Nancy's house. And that's the problem, is because this pulls in a little close, but still the area I found is 6 air miles, 11 miles, and goes directly. And I will show you that in just a minute. But I wanted to talk about why this case is so crazy real quick. So Aquarius rules the internet, social media, groups, and viral content. It spreads information and misinformation faster than any other sign. Aquarius energy equals everyone has an opinion and they're all sharing it. Ascendant into Scorpio. Scorpio equals secrets, scandals, hidden truths, and intensity. When Scorpio rises, the situation becomes magnetic, obsessive, and emotional for everyone watching. People feel personally invested, even if they have no connection. MC at 6%, or 6%. Mercury at 6 degrees. The midheaven rules the public image, reputation, and how the situation plays out in public. 6 degrees can indicate service, health, daily life. Aquarius, Scorpio, it becomes public obsession and hidden details. Creates a public-private polarity. What's hidden at home becomes a public spectacle. There's asteroids in here. Pando spreads like a network. Information, true or false, travels through connected people. Hecate, crossroads, grows secrets. Perfect for the case that attracts armchair detectives, psychics, and internet sleuths. Cleop, drama, secrecy, tragedy, the emotional pool that keeps people watching. Gemini equals communication, duality, tricks, and misinformation. A Gemini-influenced case often creates conflicting stories, false leads, and confusion. Exactly what you're seeing. So that's basically, I just wanted to go over the astrology a little bit in a summary type thing before I got into this, so I could explain to you exactly what I'm looking for and why. Okay, so the biggest thing that I want to talk about is I'm going to pull up the map. And I'm probably going to be showing you 2 different maps, okay? I'm going to be showing you the Google Earth map that I've kind of put together. Now, there's a lot of freaking things on here for different degrees and stuff for different charts. I'm just going to point you to where I felt things, what I felt, and all of that, and where I've ended up now that I think deserves at least a drone search. Because, again, we have the Aquarius stellium, which is all about like electricity, industrial, water supply, things like that. Now, if you guys look back, I did pull the water supply card, I did pull industrial cards, and I did pull things that like in water. So there is that in the chart as a possibility. Now, this was one of the only places of water that I could find in Arizona. And I didn't actually see the water part till I was leaving. But this is going to be a familiar area, which is something that is also in the chart and also in the cards. So, first of all, I'm going to pull up my... So, hopefully you guys can see that okay. I will be zooming into the spots that I need to zoom into. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to just start from the beginning. And I've kind of talked about this again on the live streams, but I just want to put everything in one place. So when I first went to Nancy's house, sorry, this is during the day, so my birds are making some noise. So this is where Nancy lives, okay? So when I first was pulling to her house, I didn't really know where the turnoff. I started to feel an energetic shift right here on the main road. I told Tracy, because she was on the phone with me, because she goes with me when I do this, and I told her I felt like an energetic shift. Now, the energetic shift is really interesting. As I drove down here, I kind of felt a little bit more. Then there was, I had accidentally ended up, I don't know why my head hurt here, but it seems that I can feel the energy. What Tracy and I have understood is that there's ley lines. You know, there's ley lines in the earth, and I'm picking up those ley lines, and that's besides the perpetrator, and that's what we feel is happening, and why I'm able to pick up things. Also, it could be other things in the area. It might not even be necessarily related to her, because I just feel things. But it's weird because when I'm in a normal state and I'm not looking for anything, I don't really feel much. But I had extreme head pressure here in this, and I don't know why, because again, there's no confusion because the chart pulls in a little bit close, but there's no industrial area until further out. So I am here by this church. There's a church up here, Orange Grove, or what is it called? I don't know what it's called right now, but there's a church up here. I found this interesting because there's a Glenn Miller studio, and I had gotten Glenn in the EVP. But anyways, there's a church over here somewhere right here, the Catalina Foothills Church. I always feel weird here. My legs feel shaky. I don't understand the feeling of that and why. Okay, so that kind of isn't making sense to me. And I'll explain even a little bit more of the astrology when I get to where I show you where I'm looking at and why. Okay. So that's how I kind of felt. That was like the first day. I did a lot of driving around. I was looking to see, because I hadn't really done a lot of the astrology or anything yet. This was kind of on the spur of the moment sort of thing. It's getting dark. So I was looking for washes, areas that you could get into that wasn't really, that didn't really have a lot of people, cameras, things like that. There isn't really any. Not where you have to pull off a main road and go down there. It wasn't making sense to me. Although possible, it just wasn't. So then I had a feeling here. That's why whenever I put interest, things that I'm feeling, okay? And I had a feeling here. Well, then we figured out that the alleged perpetrator, which I was wondering, I was like, well, why would they cover this up with the kidnapping, right? Because he's not going to get what he's looking for with the inheritance. But I think it was more to cover his own ass, because he knew he was the last one to be seen with her. Tomatoes. So this is their house. So I drove down here, and I had a headache marker on here, so I started to get a headache right here at the beginning of the beginning of their driveway. Okay, I drove down, I turned around, I came, and then I started to go through the back road. Well, I started to feel a really bad stroke right here, or like I was having a stroke where my head started hurting and I started getting numbness in my face. So it was like I was having a stroke. And so that's why I noted that, because it was very strong. And yes, he does live by a school and church, so it's kind of interesting. But then that was the first day. The next day I decided I wanted to drive up to his work. So his work is up here. Let's see, where is his work? Oh, went the wrong way. Okay, his work is up here at Oracle, the Basis Road. So I actually tipped the work into law enforcement just in case. It's been related to Tommaso or Tomato. And it does just kind of to bring attention to it, and this area should be searched around it. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to tip in the last one, to get a drone over there first, but if she's in water, it's going to be sort of hard. So I got to this light right here when you turn into the school, and I told Tracy, I said, I feel sick. Like, I got a headache. It was like, ugh. I turned into the parking lot and I parked exactly at 2:12, and I felt like I was going to puke. Now, 2:12, as you guys know, is my birthday, so it's kind of a timestamp for myself, interestingly enough, but also it was when allegedly the camera stopped working, and I thought, that's not a coincidence. I'm on the right energetic pool, because in order to be able to literally make that happen, it's almost impossible. So I then drove around to some few places. I was looking in washes and things like that. I was trying to find places. The problem is there's no water here. And so I was like, okay, well, it could be like just a place where water could flow, right? But if we're looking water, which I'll explain to in a minute, because we got the in-water card either. And anyways, and lots of cards and information. So when I was driving around here, I told Tracy, so I'm being pulled to this road, Lambert, and we didn't know what it meant yet, but we kind of just made a mental note of it. And so I went home because it was getting dark, whatever, and I said, oops. So I said, okay. So then, as you guys know, I did the reading, the spirit, the REM pod was going. They wanted me to really get that reading out for whatever reason. I felt really high when I was doing the reading. Like, I had that huge download of the whole timeline and somebody else helping, which I never had before. And there were certain things that I got, and I had been getting birds. So I have been getting these birds, and I'm like, Tracy, what about a preserve? It's weird, I know, but what about this? There was railroad tracks I was getting. There was certain things I was getting, and then that came in the cards. So she looked up the co-conspirator's address, and it led us to Marana. And this was before anybody went out there. This was on was it the 11th? I think it was before my birthday, I want to say. So I'm pretty sure it was the 11th that I went out there. And as you guys know, the video was out beforehand, because now everybody's got their sights on Marana after we put it out on the 11th. So I went and I walked around the preserve, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like looking for water. Now, the Santa Cruz River does run through here. It's very hard to get to this river over here. There are bicycle paths and walking paths, but I couldn't find out where to park. So some of the river, it looks wide, like a wide wash, but the river is like actually a lot skinnier. And so there is Wash River, but it's a lot skinnier. But I thought, well, interesting enough, we went over to Perpetrator's house, or co-conspirator's house, I should say, and I'll be damned if dirt wasn't the cross street to his house. So I was like, well, holy crap. And this is what I mean when sometimes you follow breadcrumbs, you be led to perpetrators, co-conspirators, whatever. You don't know why. You're following an energetic thread, and it doesn't always mean the body. It just doesn't. It means things that are connected energetically. And so the reason I was drawn to Lambert was because it led to this person's house, I think. And I also think the whole reason for the preserve was to validate this area as well. But also, we're going to get into the area that I'm looking for, and I'll go over the astrology just a second to kind of explain why here. So According to the astrology, this isn't just any location. It's specifically industrial and water related. The sun is in Aquarius, which rules man-made systems like water treatment plants, drainage channels, and industrial zones. The ascendant is Scorpio, so the water sign that points to hidden places, especially where water is still or contained. Asteroids like Pando and Hecate point to networks and pipes and crossroads. Exactly, we will find it in industrial wash or water facility. So the chart just doesn't really say near water. It says hidden within a man-made water system. So this is why I've been focusing on an industrial zone with water, not just any wash or river. So that's basically it, and why I'm looking for this type of area, and I'll show you why. Also, this one kind of drew me in. So since the beginning, I've always been pulled west. It's never changed. I mean, there's been a little bit of a northwest thing, which as you can see, is schools up there, so that's why. But it's always been west. Anytime I get too far south, I feel like I'm going too far. Anytime I don't even want to go east. And I don't even feel right going northeast, because I was looking at some places up here, or not up here. I was looking at some places at the hiking trails up here in the Catalina foothills as areas of interest. But a lot of, when I was looking at my other map that tells you, you know, where everything is as far as hiking trails, there's none that are really accessible at nighttime. And I just feel like it being dark, it might be a little hard. There's no industrial area. So that kind of took me away from that. The chart tend to pull west the most. So I found that interesting, because before I knew that about the chart, I was being pulled this direction, and I've always been pulled this direction. And Tracy will tell you that I've kind of stuck to the same energetic corridor. Like I'm kind of tracing the ley lines. And interesting about this is yesterday I said, well, I'm just going to go straight west. I'm going to go 270 degrees. I'm going to go to this west line. And what is on this west line? Very close to this west line is the first energetic shift that I had. Okay. I also had an area of interest here. Okay. So as you can see, it's along the same line, just a little bit higher. Then the stroke is literally right almost on the west line right here. See? Okay. Then as you continue west, and when I was west until I could find further away, but it was literally the only industrial area I could find, because it's not showing residential. It's not showing residential on the chart. So I pull west this far until I hit this. Now, before I did this, I did not know that I had already marked this before as feeling sick. I got really sick here, and I didn't remember doing that, because every time I come back to the map, it's something different. So I felt that was interesting. Also in the cards, we had quarry, we had railroad tracks, which run along this side, and this river right here. Now, this isn't really completely how it looks, as you know how Google Earth is. And there, you know, I've got park. There's a park here. There's a lake. There's a lake down here. I also had an area of interest here that I was not aware that I also made. Before realizing that this line goes straight here. So this is why I'm interested in this, because it follows along the energetic corridor of every belt. As you can see, again, energetic shift here. We have literally, and it's also, we have energetic shift here, and it's also directly from Mado's house in this west direction. Okay, so it's even a little bit closer to his house than to her house. And you can follow Orange Grove all the way down, or you can take. So it's a straight shot at nighttime and everything. Now, the other reason that I'm interested in this area is you come down from Marana. So literally, this area is in between the two perpetrators' houses. So Marana, you can take this one of these roads, I don't remember which one it is, all the way down to this area. So basically it's a straight shot, one straight shot from Perpetrator house, tomatoes, Perpetrator number 2 house. Basically it's between, you know, two places. Like he can get here going this way, but then you could turn around and, like, say that he went to get his co-conspirator's vehicle, and they decided to use that. He could easily make a full circle. Basically, it would be known to both people. It makes me wonder if the whole point of the preserve and everything was to get me in this specific area, not just point to the co-conspirator. So there is water in this, and the water that I did see, I mean, you do have to go through the wash to get to like a little bit of water. It looks standing water. Don't know how deep the water is, but again, in Arizona, it's hard to find water, and the chart keeps pulling water, the cards keep pulling water, and I notice, from what I've been told, a lot of psychics are picking up water. She's not at the border. She's not anywhere far, because again, there's a lot of misdirection in the chart. That includes all these bullshit conspiracies about cartel and all of that. No cartel wants an 84-year-old woman. Sorry. Epstein files? No. Again, it's bullshit. So, and literally, if you guys have seen the EVP, you'll see literally they said domestic, which is what this is. So no one's going to talk me out of involved, because I've done the checking a million times, as always. This leads directly to the Santa, and I think the Rialto River leads up here. A little bit of a waterfall here on the other side of this bridge right here. It's called Marina Falls. That's what it's called. So this is all industrial area, and they've done a lot of construction in this area as well. And literally the area that has the water is behind a water pumping station, which is total Aquarius. So then you have also electrical towers that are total Aquarius. This place, you have the railroad tracks again on the other side. You have parks. You have basically everything that we're looking for. It is in the desert. The cliff can be just because she's down below view. You can't see her, because sometimes the cards are symbolic. So this is why I'm looking at this area. Now, I did feel sick when I walked in here. It's the only thing that I felt at any of the areas I've gone to, besides, you know what I mean, just like looking at places. I was feeling achy, and I was having a headache, and that was further down. It could be anything. It doesn't necessarily mean it's her. I could be feeling the land, part of the ley lines. They could be making me sick, but the fact that the part of this work is to put all the puzzle pieces together to try to come to an area that makes sense. And putting all the puzzle pieces together, the way that I felt, the energetic shift, it being along this line, literally being west and along my energetic shift that I've had, or basically tracing the ley lines, it being between a place where the perpetrator and the co-conspirator know, it being in water where she's less likely to be found, and this area is open 24/7. It's super dark out there. There's not a problem with access at all. There is a fence. There are ways into the fence. It's just like a little barbed wire fence. It's not a big deal, and there are gaps in the fence and whatnot. I walked straight in. It is a hiking place, but if she's in the water, you know, and again, I feel like she was wrapped in her bed sheets. I hate to say that. I apologize, but this is now a recovery, in my opinion. I don't think we're looking for anybody alive. We never were. That's just the narrative that's being spread, which is totally aligning with what my original reading and what I've said the entire time, that aligns with the astrology. Sorry about my bird. Another thing I wanted to mention. So yesterday when I was doing all of this work, the REM pod was going fucking crazy. So the REM pod started going kind of in the morning yesterday. And there were certain things that I was watching about Nancy, and it was making the REM pod, every time something would be said, the REM pod would go nuts. And I was like, okay, like, what do you guys want? So it made me get up and come over here and start mapping. And it was quiet for a while. It hadn't gone off. And I said, okay, I'm going to grab my rods. I'm going to check some things out. So I was asking about all this foothills and stuff, and it kept saying, no, no, no. Meanwhile, the REM pod's going crazy. And I'm just like, okay, where? So when I pulled this line over, this 270, and I got here, it fucking stopped. Dead silence, REM pod stopped, nothing else. For about 10-15 minutes. That to me was sort of confirmation, because what are the odds that it literally stops after going crazy? Like, almost like it was ramping up, because I was getting closer and closer and closer, and it was ramping up every time I'd use, because as soon as I picked up the rod, it started again. And it would just, the rods would say no, and the thing would go off, and it would just keep going. And it was like getting faster and faster and faster and faster. It was nuts. But the moment I hit this area, it stopped completely. And there is another river. It looks like this is like the Rialto River or something like that runs through there. And we did get the river card. So this is the only industrial area that's close enough that has river water that makes sense. And it's a huge area. I can't tell you exactly where she's at there, other than where I had nausea at, and you would be looking for a water area. And so this is like, the way I got there is I went West India because I've been pulled to that damn silver, but I didn't understand why. Because there's roads that we keep seeing that I keep repeating, because that's apparently how Tucson is, but that I keep being drawn to. So I thought that was interesting. Also, interestingly enough, the tracks came in the EVP. Now, there's something else I want to mention. I know an astrologist friend of mine. She actually wrote an article about me on the Delphi case. And she messages me yesterday, and she's telling me to look for water and tracks and things like this industrial area. And I said, okay, yeah, I realize I'm looking for an industrial area, but the area she was giving me didn't make sense. It was like Congress and Speedway, like that's in the middle of the city. We're not looking for middle of the city. We're looking for, industrial type area. And so I'm like, I already have it. I need to go west and blah, blah, blah. And I asked her, I said, so, because she said I wasn't going to get involved in another case after Delphi. And I said, okay, but you did read the chart and it is family, right? And she's like, yep. So that was another confirmation for me. So, and she's a very good astrologist. I don't know how much she does on forensic astrology, but again, she was working the Delphi case with her astrology. The birds are kind of going nuts outside. We have those cranes and they're like freaking out right now, which is kind of interesting timing. So yeah, she was able to validate that. Now, I want to figure out, because there's a lot of construction going on. This river is here right now, because I didn't go around this way. So, because the railroad tracks are closer to over here. And I can show you guys how it looks on the XCon map, or Connex map. XCon map. Connex map. And I'm sorry, like, I'm kind of talking fast and all of that, but I am trying to, like, this is an Aquarius thing where I'm trying to, like, explain everything in the best way that I can, because it can be really complicated. And, like, I had it when I was laying down this morning, and I was thinking of everything I wanted to say, and do you think I can remember anything that I'm trying to say? No. And I'm frozen. Am I frozen? Am I still frozen? Oh, there we go. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that map for the time being, and I'm going to show you guys. So I don't know what a drone could show if she's in water. I think this area needs to be looked at. I cannot promise that this is where she's at. I cannot promise that. This is a deduction thing. This is looking for certain things that are in the astrology, that are in the cards, that are feeling of pools and energy, like I've showed you guys this entire time. That's it. There's nothing to say that's the spot for sure for me. Just that deductively, that's what I've come up on. Now, so this is showing you like more of, this is the Connex map. So they have built a lot of this out. There's actually a quarry over here with like a really, and another thing too is a lot of the ravines out here are super freaking deep, which ravine card was another one. But there is water right here. This is the road that I was driving by. I got gas here, and I hadn't seen this because it's kind of a little bit of a walk. But he might know other ways in. There's a dog park right here. But right here, there is river. There is water that is here in this river. This is accurate. I did see it yesterday. So, it's coming down from the falls. And So this is why I was saying, look how big this area is. I don't know how far the water goes down. It could dry up because further down it wasn't on. She could be further up where there's more water. This I didn't want to go too far to Marina because I feel like that's too far. But there is a lot of water in that river. So I think he was looking for water. Just because there's so much water on the cards, it's in the chart, at least for a drainage system, even if it's like, because the one thing I keep seeing is a pipe with water running out, so we could be looking for a drainage system of some sort as well. This is just literally the only place I could find that is within range that has industrial and water, period. That's it. And there is a national forest that backs up. There's trees and everything. I mean, there's trees like, the woods card kept coming in. So I think random area had came in once. So, and yeah. So my whole thing is it's not going to hurt. The problem is that everybody is over there recording whatever, nothing. They're sitting there, they're recording the house, nothing's going on. I'm sorry, but Nancy's not going to walk through the door. No one is searching. What happened to EquiSearch? I think they were out there a couple weeks ago. The cops have searched around around her house, but I don't think she's around her house. Originally, I thought she was. I thought maybe she was closer because the chart does pull in close. But then again, we have the whole stellium in Aquarius, which points to more industrial, electric, water kind of system. And then we have all the water cards. There's no water by her house that I could find in any of the washes. So it's all dry. So if you're looking for water, plus we got the river card in the reading, this is where we're going. So basically what I do is I go through my visions, I go through all the cards, I go through the astrology, and I try to feel the energy and then deduct. And I continue to pull this way. I don't feel like south doesn't feel right, east doesn't feel right, northwest a little bit, but basically west. But it's that whole energetic corridor that I've been drawn to. And the fact of the matter, I could not believe it that when I drew that line that was 270 degrees, that it all lined up with every single thing I felt along that line in different areas, like almost like I was feeling the ley lines. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So again, I don't know if a drone can see anything. They might need an underwater drone. I'm not really sure. I didn't get to the water. I had taken Neptune for an appointment, and he's having like this thing where I don't even know if birds can have this, but I think he had like a seizure. And so they wouldn't trim his beak yesterday. As you know, he had broke his beak over a year ago, and I take him every 5 weeks for them to trim it. And I don't know if something happened in that thing. He's had a couple episodes, but he had one, and so the vet didn't want to do anything. So I had a little bit of time, and I had him in the car, and I didn't want to go too far from my vehicle. And it's huge. And it was getting late, and there's coyotes in this area. Like, coyotes are everywhere. Like I told you the story about how me and Justice got surrounded by coyotes. I didn't have my dog with me. So, it would help to have my cadaver dog at some point. And that's why we kind of want to do a nonprofit, because for cases that I can get out and search with. But I need a drone at least to fly over it and look at it. Can't see it as a short person. I don't know how you would check the water at this point, but you're looking for a wet, watery area, according to what the cards and the chart is saying. And apparently a bunch of other psychics. I don't know. That's what I keep being told. So that is what I have. I hope that it's not too messy and you can understand it and see where I'm coming from. And this is the area that I'm looking at. Oh, just so I can kind of show you. Oh, wait, I already gave you guys the... Maybe I should be a little bit more. Let me see. Let me show you real quick. Again, just the area so I can kind of explain where it is in case anybody gets a hold of anybody with the drone. Again, I can't promise anything. I'm just doing this deductively. And this was the only place I felt anything. So, so this is the 10. Okay. And again, I felt sick there before I even fucking knew. But I don't know about this flying field. It's a model flying field. I don't know. And there's a golf course up here. So that was also in the astrology, or that, not the astrology. That was also in the cards, was the golf course. There's up here. So there's a golf course there. I need to show you that. And then there's a marsh down here. Sweetwater wetlands down here. So as you can see, it's in between everything. So when things come in the cards, they are talking about a corridor or an area or things that you pass or things that are around it, right? And sometimes they are talking about the perpetrator, the co-conspirator, or to get us in this area. So this is why I'm thinking the whole preserve was about, and the whole wet, like marshy thing. Like it's like in between there, literally. And again, perpetrator and co-conspirator all kind of align with this area. Weirdly, and it's not super close. It's 11 miles, but you can take a straight shot to Orange. And, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what's out there, and I don't think they took his car. So, everything that I'm looking for is in this area, including the golf course, including the wetlands, including the preserve up here, including the railroad, everything. It's all here. The river, all of that, and it's not too far apart, not too far down from where I heard Glen. There's Glen here, West Glen Railroad Tracks, and then Roger too. That was all in this area down here. So it's all in the same energetic corridor. I think there's another golf course there. So it's a huge wash, but there is water running. So, which again is hard to find, but most of the river is flowing further up in Marina, but Marina I just think is too far according to the chart. It seems to pull in closer, the chart does, and this is like the closest I can get with industrial with water, unless you guys can find somewhere else. So that's what I wanted to go on to. This is let me pull this up so you guys can see Twin Peaks. Oh, interesting. Twin Peaks, that's another Gemini road. And that is up by Marina. I mean, there's a lot of churches around here too, so, and schools. But let's see. So this is Silver Bell. This is the road that you take. It's a back road. It's pretty. So the area we're also looking for, it feels remote, but it's not really remote. It's still kind of a public place. So it feels remote, but it's not really remote. So as you guys can see, it's Enya, and then Silver Bell, and Silver Bell goes all the way down, but I think it also goes up. That damn Silver Bell. I first saw that, I was like it was like a pool. And then again, Enya goes all the way to her house too. So, all right, I think I'm legit done trying to explain this now. Hopefully that breaks it all down for you guys and what I was looking for. I was going to do a live, but and we can still do live and talk about it if you guys want to. Let me know in the comments. If not, this is pretty good for the location video that I'm interested in, and I'm going to be interested in it until it gets kind of searched, because this is, after all of these deductions, all of these feelings and everything, this is where it's landed me. And until it's searched, I don't know where else to look. This is where everything is. I can't find any water up by his work, which is what I was looking for. It's pretty dry up there. So, I mean, there could be a wash system, but again, there's no real industrial that I can find, but this kind of leads me along the same energetic corridor, so that's why I'm also really interested in it. So, oops, I forgot to turn on my EMF, I just realized. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you like and comment, and I'll talk to you soon.
In the shadows where the silence speaks, I walk the line where the lost souls seek. With whispers of hope and a guiding light, I'll search the dark, bring the truth to light. I'm a seeker of the unseen, bridging worlds where the heart has been. With every heartbeat, every tear, I'll find the way, I'll draw you near. Of the past I tread, unlocking stories of the words unsaid. With every vision I'll stand my ground. In the name of love, the lost will be found. I'm a seeker of the unseen, bridging worlds where the heart has been. With Together we'll break through the darkest night. For every lost soul, I'll bring back the light. I'm a seeker of the unseen, bridging worlds where the heart has been. With every heartbeat, every tear, I'll find a way, I'll draw you near. I'm a seeker of the unseen, I'm bridging worlds where the heart has been, where the heart. With every heartbeat, every tear, I'll find a way, I'll draw you near. Draw you near. Through the echoes of the past I tread, unlocking stories of the words unsaid. With every vision I'll stand my ground. In the name of love, the lost will be found. Through the echoes of the past I tread, unlocking stories of the words unsaid. With every vision I'll stand my ground. In the name of love, the lost will be found. Through the echoes of the past I tread, unlocking stories of the words unsaid. With every vision I'll stand my ground. In the name of love, the lost will be found. When hope is fading, I won't let go. I'll be your compass, your guiding glow. Together we'll break through the darkest night. For every lost soul, I'll bring back the light. When hope is fading, I won't let go. I'll be your compass, your guiding glow. Together we'll break through the darkest night. For every lost soul, I'll bring back the light.